Let me go to Dr. Akama and back. Somebody is asking if broken heart syndrome can mimic a pseudo pregnancy. Can somebody just all of a sudden be bloating and having signs of pregnancy?
Well,
I've never heard of that before anyway.
Well, pseudo pregnancy. So I think what the person is trying to say is the person becomes edematous, swollen, with swollen legs, and then swollen abdomen.
Okay.
So it can happen, but usually broken heart syndrome, if it's caught early, and you treat it, by 6 months, the person will recover. And
yeah, I know.
And the heart to recover is function.
Okay.
But if it's not caught early, and a cardiologist or a physician hasn't seen the person, the heart can continue to be weak. And as I mentioned, one of the consequences will be the rhythm disturbance where the heart can suddenly stop, leading to cardiac arrest. But if the person continues to have a weak heart, what entails is that the person is not able to circulate the blood. So the blood stays in the legs, leading to leg swelling. Then, because the legs are swollen, more blood stays there. They may start weeping from the legs. Because the heart is not able to circulate, some of the fluid stays in the abdomen. That's why they get distended abdomen. So actually you have a sea of water sort of inside the abdomen, and you can actually tap it out.
Wow.
So when that happens, the heart is becoming weaker and the pressure within the heart is very, very high. But it's very rare. That is very rare. For a broken heart syndrome to go to that level is very rare, not very documented. So somebody can have a broken heart syndrome but develop cardiovascular conditions outside the broken heart syndrome that we talked about. So blood pressure can ensue. They can have depression. Depression is a very high risk cardiovascular factor. So if somebody is depressed, your bad hormones go up, the person can become obese, the person can become diabetic, the cholesterol can build up, and the heart can become weak.
Okay.
So consequences can occur.
Okay. Well, I don't know any of you could answer this. Can sexual involvement increase the pain? If somebody is asking, I guess the person will want to know. Sometimes if you are sexually involved with a person, it hurts them more. True. But before you answer, then if that is the case, then let's go back to this.
Yeah, classic broken hearts. I say you're serious, sir.
You see, are you serious? You can't even be pregnant.
Okay. The corner of my course, so make me a life to be a man. What's it? Go to the and you go to the who pen and you go to the broken hearts and I also said your broken hearts are you. Hey, when you are sugar classic broken hearts. Now say you're in serious, sir. Hey, why? Okay.
When your heart breaks, literally, Abby McDonald in his book Getting Over Garrett Delany said,
You can die of a broken heart. It's scientific fact, and my heart has been broken since that first day we met. I can feel it now, aching deep behind my rib cage the way it is. Thus, every time we are together, beating a desperate rhythm. Love me, love me, love me.
Female heart patients make up 90% of Takotsubo cardiomyopathy cases.
Takotsubo, by the way, are octopus strips that resemble the post-like shape of the stricken heart. Broken heart syndrome, also called stress-induced cardiomyopathy, can strike even if you are healthy.
The heart's abnormal construction usually go away by 4 weeks, but it can be fatal for elderly patients and those with Alzheimer's disease. Scott 2015. A broken heart can cause the heart to fail. People with broken heart syndrome could have sudden chest pain or think they are having a heart attack. In this syndrome, there's a temporal destruction of the heart's normal pumping function in one area of the heart. Experts' opinions were sought on the matter.
My name is Dr. Daniel Ej, and I work at Pantan Hospital. Broken heart, usually it's a form of an emotional stress, can affect the person in both ways, both physically and then psychologically.
Ladies would align more with it than gentlemen.
For the physical aspect, it's known that broken heart, just like any form of stress or an emotional stress, that could also result from probably a divorce or a loss of a close relative or a close friend, from some studies done, can increase the person's chances of having a heart attack or heart issue. And one other rare thing that has been observed or has been spoken about is the broken heart syndrome, which not only from the emotional stress from a broken heart, but can come from any form of an emotional stress. It tends to be temporary, so it starts for a short while, have features of a normal heart attack, but then tends to resolve over time. Psychological aspect. You could have someone, if the stress from the whole situation is not handled well, it can lead the person on to developing something like a depression. So the person had an emotional stress from the broken heart, couldn't handle it very well, and then leads on and on and on, and then comes up. For that person, maybe that stable relationship may be the only factor for that person. So that may be the only other one of the support systems for this particular person. And then this person suddenly loses that friendship or loses that friend. For some people, it may be the one that triggers a relapse. And for some people too, it may be the trigger for a new episode or another, something that was there, but then the friendship was set.
Will I allow this thing to affect the rest of my life?
For a person who's already been managed for a psychological disorder, for that person, maybe that stable relationship may be the only factor for that person. So that may be the only other one of the support systems.
Okay, so we have heard from another psychiatrist and a counseling psychologist. Can sexuality or sexual involvement increase the level of pain?
It depends. Now, relationship is all about give and take.
Okay.
Once you're in a relationship, there is something you have to commit into that relationship. And what you commit determines how much involved you are in a relationship. Now, if you think your commitment and what you think is going to consolidate and solidify your relationship is sex, and then you give in, what that means is that you value that contribution to your relationship.
Okay.
And so if there's a breakup, then that will definitely going to worsen your situation for you.
Okay, so it depends on that level of commitment.
Yes.
And the object of commitment you put in.
Sure.
Okay, so I want to go to Hajia. Hajia, how do you recover from a broken heart and hatred?
Before I answer that question,
Okay.
I would like to chip in to what he
Okay.
said. Islam does not allow us to get sexually involved before we get married. The Quran has text on it and does not... Well,
Please, say it again. Oh. They want to hear.
Yeah. Muslims don't get sexually involved in relationships before they get married. That's how it's supposed to be.
Okay.
But I don't know whether people are doing kona.
Well.
But then there is a text in the Quran that says that La taqrabu zina inna kana fahishatan wa sa'a sabila. It's in Arabic. What is simply saying that don't go near things that will make you fornicate or go into adultery.
In
For
Christianity,
these
we call it mere occasions of sin.
Okay. For these things can lead to other sin. So Muslims don't get sexually involved before they get married.
That's ideal. Yeah. Okay, so broken heart and hatred.
Surely, or undoubtedly, you end up hating the person who broke your heart in some kind of way. What happens is that part of you will love the person, and then part of you will hate the person for hurting you.
Okay.
But then in this situation, you are broken and don't know where to fall, because you hate him at some part, and then you love him at some part. Now, what you have to do is that try as much as you can to get out of that, hatred.
Okay.
Because we are supposed to love. God created us to love and receive love.
Okay.
But then if it happens that you give out love and you don't receive love,
that is where the hatred starts. Okay,
starts.
We'll come to the practicality of it because we are almost behind time. I want to know from Sam, is there a correlation between broken heart and addiction? Addiction to pornography, addiction to masturbation, addiction to phone and social media, addiction to betting, substance abuse and all. Is there a correlation?
Well, there could be a correlation. It could be strong, it could be weak, or there could be no relationship. But the truth of the matter is, broken heart, as we've said and even heard on the screen, is a form of stress. And when you are stressed, people have several ways of relieving stress. I give a very good example. There are some married men who are unable to go home simply because they believe that there's some jata in the house. And that jata has caused them a lot of stress. And so they end up hanging out, drinking here and there. In fact, people sometimes drink just to relieve themselves of the pain of the stress.
But some people don't just necessarily take in that alcohol. They would want to just even simple eating.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, that people have different ways of relieving stress. So for some people, if getting closer to your phone is what is going to make you forget about the pain you are going through, they will see them doing that. As we said, this aromatherapy, if just a matter of inhaling some flowers here and there, and that is what is going to make you forget about the pain you are going through, you do it. But whilst you are supposed to overcome that quickly, given that you are healing functionally, there are people who then transcend beyond the normal part.
Okay.
And then that becomes pathological, so they become addicted. So that even if the pain has gone, because the brain has now been reoriented to a different thing, they get fixated, and they can never live their life without those things. And that is what some people go through.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Because of time, I know the messages are overwhelming. And so we will be announcing a number that the counseling center has just, we have just inaugurated or commissioned a new satellite office so that we can now, get closer to students. So just behind us, BAM Library, on top of Kingdom Bookshop, the university library, you could just go there any working hour and access a counseling psychologist, a clinical psychologist, and a psychiatrist in the course of the week, anytime. But before you leave, a number will be announced to you anytime. And what we are doing now is we are not going to make you come and sit down and wait in a queue. You call, you book an appointment, you walk in, and it's your time. Okay? A same office has been inaugurated and commissioned at Kolebu School of Medicine and Dentistry, and that will be manned by a clinical psychologist who is also a counseling psychologist. And it is linked directly to the Department of Psychiatry so that all the three things that you get from the BAM Library will be there. Now, the most amazing thing too is that some of the halls, like Jubilee Hall, Equafo Hall, Mensa Saba Hall have given us spaces where you could just walk in and access a counselor, aside the regular careers and counseling center. So now UG, we are going higher. Okay, let's give it up for our leadership. They have done well. And so, I don't know how you are seeing. I'll come to Hajia briefly, but finish what you want to say.
I wanted to add to
Okay.
what he said. When you get hit, now most of the times to block the pain, you might end up getting into destructive behavior, like some of the things he stated, like smoking, drinking alcohol, and other stuff. But then you can use, use praises.
Okay.
We Muslims, we call something zikr. We use praises, we praise God, and then within that, you might find solace in relieving the pain.
Wow.
And there's a text in the Quran that says that, وَتَتْمَئِنُّ قُلُوبُهُمْ بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ أَلَا بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ وَتَتْمَئِنُّ قُلُوبُ. Those who believe and find solace or satisfaction in the remembrance of Allah, surely or undoubtedly, hearts do find satisfaction in the remembrance of Allah.
Wow. The power of positive thinking, the power of positive words. We want to acknowledge the presence of Auntie Joyce Nyakoa, the woman, the beautiful woman who is signing. She just offered to do that for us. We are very, very grateful. If you want to clap for her, do it this way. Just do it this way. She will know that you are clapping for her. Good. Yes. I don't know if you are enjoying the show. Dcoded show. Dcoded show. Dcoded show. Let me start from Maita. Any free legal advice you want to give us? We'll pay you with prayer.
Okay. So I just want to encourage all those in relationships that were to lead to marriage but have had their hearts broken. You are not without a legal remedy. You can take the person on anytime, and then the courts would try as much as possible to at least let the person compensate you for whatever stress that the person put you through. And then I would also advise, let's not be blinded so much when we enter into such relationships. Let's keep our eyes open. Some people spend so much in relationships, they don't keep records or anything. So whenever they want to take actions against the partner, when there's a broken heart, it's difficult to establish whatever it is that they are saying. Let's keep records of whatever happens. And those going about making the promises, please, let's be careful. People can take you on.
Okay. Thank you. Dr. Sam.
Right. So I'll come to you so that I'll follow up on my case. But briefly, I want to say this, that you don't have to be in a relationship because of the commitment and how much resources you have made if you know that that relationship is going to harm you in the future. It's better to drop today, suffer the broken heart, than to suffer tomorrow. Now, you must also understand that sometimes broken heart, or if someone leaves or walks out of your life, it's an avenue for a bigger door. Now, as I am here, I'm a living testimony. So if you forget, cry, and you remember my name, oh, there's hope. You are fine. Thank you.
There is hope. There is hope. Hajia.
I would advise that whenever you're in a relationship, you have to be objective and then look for the signs that this relationship might lead to danger. Shine your eyes.
Shine your eyes. Shine your eyes. Well, Doc, what do you have to tell us?
Well, it starts with a sudden state of confusion. You're confused, your heart starts to pound, you can't breathe, then everything goes black, and then you feel you're floating. You might be holding your head you want to cry, you want to just get out of your skin and vanish. It's all physiological as a result of this severe trauma that you've gone through. And it can lead to a lot of consequences. One of them can actually lead to a really broken heart called a stress-induced cardiomyopathy. But as I said, young hearts are resilient. You have to be prepared for it. Those of you who are in the process of trying to break somebody's heart, do it gently.
Yes.
Okay? You might break it and it will not recover. So give them signs, give them time, give them space, and then be gentle. And you can still be friends. You can still be friends. So don't break the person's heart. So what I'm concluding with is that if you don't pull yourself out of this problem, initially you get over the acute phase, but a chronic problem can persist. And that can destroy your career, that can destroy your life, and you become a callous person, you withdraw from society. So cry out, get help, go to counseling, call father, talk to people, and then you can get out of it. Most people, he is a living testimony.
Yes, yes, Dr.
He has survived it. A lot of people have survived it. So it's so painful, you may think that is the end of life and you want to take your life. There are so many fishes in the sea. Okay, so if one person is gone, just cry it out. After 1 week, bounce back. Don't rush, okay? Take time and you can get your life back.
Don't rush. Can we give that for our guests? Yes. Before we go, there were two saviors. We have one savior amongst us, but there were two saviors on the first show. And we would want to really appreciate them. And so we will humbly invite again on the podium our acting director and those who have what it must be given. Please come support our acting director to do some presentations to some few people.
Hello, honorable panelists, ladies and gentlemen. As Father Tony mentioned, during the first show, we had somebody who actually was called on the spot, and you used the word savior. She truly saved us. That means she was not informed before the show, but right on the spot, it was as if she was the first person who had been informed to perform or to participate and speak during that show. We just want to show our gratitude, express our gratitude, deep gratitude to this honorable lady, very knowledgeable, always ready to help, who is even right here in our midst. And I'm referring to no other person. Yes. Okay.
Before you continue, do you know that the person you're about to call was the one who trained our beautiful and knowledgeable Rashida Hajia?
You see now?
Yes.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
I know that she has trained a lot of people, and she continues to train a lot of people. So we still have a lot to learn from her. And we are doing this because we are still going to use you more and more. So, yes. So I invite up front our mother, our sister, our counseling psychologist, expert, Auntie Cecilia. Do you remember her? Okay.
So I know Auntie Cecilia would want us to know what is inside it. We just want to know.
Yes. As I wrap it, I want to tell you that it's sweet to love. Try and love with your heart. But as you love with your heart, do not leave your mind behind. You need to love with your heart and your mind. That will make you love and be loved and enjoy it. Thank you. I'm so grateful.
Yes, so we were expecting a second person who was actually on the first show. And that was wonderful to have her because she's a very busy person, but she made time to be there. Somehow we can't see her yet, but I believe you remember the name Vanessa, right? Okay, Dr. Vanessa Atikwi. Is she here? Oh, yes. That shows you remember her. Yes, we do. Is her relative, any relative here? Where are you? Oh, we are all relatives in spirit. Okay, so just for you to know that we appreciate her so much for the role she played during that first show. It was so much of a blessing. Thank you very much. And so we cannot leave this place without expressing our gratitude to our panelists, our experts for this evening. And the first one goes to our legal practitioner. You can put it in. Who has informed us that when your heart is broken, the legal practitioners can help you out. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And of course, the next one is to our senior member, lecturer, doctor and psychiatrist, Dr. Ajololo. We are glad that even though your heart was broken some time ago, you are here in one piece. We thank you. And of course, Hajia, we know you are a very, very busy person, but you have really made a difference here on our show. We are grateful to you. We are grateful to you. Thank you very much for your time. And then, what's the term again? Cardio. I need to go to school. Thank you very much, doctor. Thank you very much for being here, for educating us, informing us. Now we know what happens when the heart gets broken. And we'll try to make sure it doesn't get broken, because what happens is not good. Thank you very much. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Father.
Thank you very much, Auntie Bridget. Now the show is about to end, and so we would want to invite our senior clinical psychologist to give us a word of thanks. And from there, if Paxqua can lead us with an Hallelujah chorus, we'll be so happy. I know you're always prepared. Yeah. You like to put in the hour prepared. Yeah. So something from Handel's Messiah. Yeah, just an Hallelujah chorus. So yes, Auntie Gladys.
Good evening, and from the Careers and Counseling Center, we want to express our profound gratitude to our panelists for taking time off your busy schedule to grace our this Decoded show. Thank you very much. And to our senior members, our guests, taking time off your busy schedules to be with us, we are very grateful. Our students, our peer counselors, thank you. Thank you so much. We've learned a lot this evening, and I was telling Auntie Bridget that if somebody is having a predisposition to mental disorder, broken heart is a terrible thing. So those of us who send text messages, I'm done. Please, let's be careful. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much. So before the Pasqua would want to sing, I would want to now officially, on behalf of the center, would want to thank all of you who came. Thank you for all your support. Thank you especially my able national service persons and the volunteers. Please, let's clap for them. They have really, really worked. Sometimes I know I have pushed you, but I know it was for the good cause. And with this, and just a second before the song where we all rise, I would officially want to now adjourn Dcoded show for the year 2019-2020 academic year, the year of addiction. With this, Dcoded show is adjourned. God bless you.